my name is Saksham Dikshit and this is my channel Pentest Diaries. So today I'll make the video. This is a small video and this is a continuation of the same series of Solidity programming series, and in that I'm just making this video on the topic of strings and constants and the default values. So all three things I'm clubbed together itself and making one video. Okay, so let me proceed further with that. So we'll see the code first, or I'll think like I just have to give the understanding first and then I'll take it forward with that. So strings, if you're talking about the strings itself, so it's a single liner. So strings by default stored in blockchain, which you call it as the storage. Okay, so it's a straightforward thing, nothing on a stack, it's on blockchain. And other than that, if I'm talking about when we are using a strings in function, we need to use the memory keyword along with a string character. Okay, but in case of state variable, we are not required to use any memory with string, memory keyword with string. By default, the string stored in storage blockchain. So if it's a state variable, it's by default similar like the previous one, it's going straight forward to the storage, which you call it as a blockchain. Okay, now we'll see the practical of it and then I'll move to the next section for it. So this is the code which I have written for you. So this is the straightforward stuff which you can able to understand. Now we'll proceed further with the next section for it, and why I have disabled this also, I'll let you know why. So we just simply define the state variable over here itself with a string public str equal to Mohan. Okay, now I'm moving forward itself. If I enable this, like if I'll just disable this section, and let me enable this. Okay, yeah, that should be good. Perfect. Now I'll proceed further. Let me compile it. I think everything should be working fine. Perfect. So this is a state variable. Now if I'm talking about the function itself, function you're already aware about it. What we have to do, we are giving an input which we have read earlier also. So we are giving an input over here itself. And now in the return also we are giving a same thing. As we are talking about, in case of function, we have to mention along with that a memory, call data, or whatever is it. So there are three things we have to get it defined over there itself. If I'll just remove this, let me remove this, so it will give me the error. Okay, this is giving me the error. Okay, let me compile it and you will be able to see. So you can see like it will ask like either we have to use a storage, memory, call data for it. Okay, so as I'm using memory, so there is no point for it, so I'll simply have to put the memory over here. I want this to be stored in storage instead of going to the stack. So if we want that in the function, also want the content to be populated in the storage, which called the blockchain, then in that case memory is the keyword we have to use it, which we have already discussed about it. In case of string also, I'll just make you recall once again, we are using a pure, which I think you can correlate it. In last lecture itself I've explained you about the pure view and the simple function also, so you can correlate that why I'm using pure over here itself. So as we are giving an input and getting that output back, so that was the reason behind it. So whatever the input we are giving it over here itself, it just get it assigned to the name and then return the name, and then we whatever the output we are getting it, we are seeing that as that the input which we are giving it from our side. So we are not seeing this, we are seeing this over here itself. Okay, if I'll compile this code and let me deploy it, if I'll deploy that, so let me see, if I'll click on check string and now I'll click on str, so you can see both the things over here itself. I think let me compile once again. Yeah, now it's good. I think that was compiling previous compiled one, that was the reason. So over here itself, whatever the thing we are passing it, take example, I'll pass this name Sam. If I'll click on this, you can see the response will be Sam. I'm getting it. Why? It's a straightforward. We are giving input, getting that transferred to name, and name will be getting returned, and we get the output as Sam. Okay, if I'm just talking about the str, so it's Mohan only. So that's all about the stuff about this string one. Even if I'll take the another section for it where I'm not giving any input and just get it assigned over there itself by default for myself, instead of taking any input, I'll just get it assigned over there, and then I'll try to get it returned. Then in that case also I'm getting the similar response, so nothing is different from that. Okay, so I'm not remove that whatever the tagging we are doing it, I'm not replacing this once again. This is understood to you. Like if this is working fine, we simply have to remove this section, and I think you can run the code once again. It's working for you itself. As we are not taking any input, we are giving the input from our side itself, get it assigned the same thing. So we are not asking the user to get it assigned something, we are giving itself from our side. Okay, that's about the strings. Now we are talking about the another section which we call it as a constant. So taking example, if there is a scenario where you do not want your state variable to be get it modified. Take example, whatever the thing you have get it assigned. So in case of state variable, if we do not want the value to be get it changed, so we can use the keyword constants. Then in that case our value will not change. So other than that, we are seeing that what actually the default value like of any, like if we are giving unsigned or whatever that variable we are defining it, then in that case we will try to see like what actually the default value we are getting it. So that's also we are checking it. Okay, so let me go to the code now and show you that. So this is a code we have written from our side. So this is for the constants. So if we have defined this keyword as constant over here itself, then in that case this value will be get it remain for the same itself. So if we do not want this state variable to be get it changed, then in that case we can give it this keyword to be insert before that variable name itself, and then in that case it should be get it constant. This is not only for the address only, this is for other also. We can use it for other data types also. So this is not, I'm just get it explain over here itself just for address, but you can use it for others also. Okay, now the another section which we call it as an unsigned one, boolean, address, byte 32 and the strings. Okay, so what are the default value we are getting it inside of it. So let me remove this, and I think rest everything is clear to you itself. So let me compile it first. Okay, now it's compiled. Now let me deploy it. So if I'll try to see that, so you can see a lot of things over here itself. So we'll just go one by one. So in case of byte 32, if we click on A, what exactly the value we are getting it, you can see this. Okay, so this is a value by default, this A is having it. Okay, if I'm talking about the next one, owner address, so this is showing me the same address itself which I have already defined it. Okay, if I'm talking about the owner address 2, this is the one which showing it. Okay, now if I'm talking about the str, what actually the str variable having the value itself by default, so it's having 0 itself. If I'm talking about, it's having none. Okay, if I'm talking about the x which we call it as an unsigned integer, then in that case it's having 0. If I'm talking about y, then in that case false, as it's a boolean, so by default it's stored the value false. And if I'm talking about the z that we call it as address, then in that case this is a default one value which we can see it inside of it. So that's all about the stuff which I just want to get it covered in this video itself. There are 3 things which I just want to get it covered. It's a strings, constants, and other than that the default values. I know like so many things I'm just trying to get it covered. The thing is that I just want to go step by step, just try to cover each and everything itself, so that at the time when we are actually making the code itself, so most of the stuffs as per my understanding I'll try to get it covered in this. And soon also, once we have done with all the potential stuffs before going for the actual code itself, so definitely I'll try to cover 1 or 2 projects itself in this Solidity series. Before that, all the concepts which is actually we required for the beginners itself, or at least to the reaching to the intermediate level, I'll try to get it covered in this course. So this is all about the stuff which I want to get it covered in this video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel, and please provide your comments in the comment section of this video if you want to provide some feedback or you want some improvement in this. So thank you so much once again. Take care. Bye bye.